Have you ever seen a blue, gold, and red bird squawk at you? So, it was probably a macaw. Macaws are beautiful birds with striking colors, big beaks, and big personalities, and they're some of the most famous residents of the Amazon rainforest. But there's a lot more to these birds than meets the eye. Hi, I'm here with Minute Earth, and today we're headed to South America to learn about macaws. Let's start with the obvious. Macaws are beautiful. They're large, around a foot long, and come in a variety of brilliant colors, including blue, yellow, green, and red. It depends on the species. There are 19 different species of macaws, ranging from the severe to the blue and gold to the green wing, and each has a different combination of colors. But if you ask any macaw what its favorite color is, it will say all of them, because macaws love bright colors. They prefer to eat fruits that are red or purple, and will often beg for brightly colored toys. And although macaws don't see the color blue, if given the choice, they will pick out blue objects from a group of similarly colored items. That's because they can use contextual clues like the way light reflects off an object to figure out what color it is. This makes macaws similar to humans in that way. Like people, macaws also have distinctive personalities. Some are loud and friendly, while others are chill and more reserved. And just like our personalities, a lot of it comes down to our gut bacteria. In 2020, scientists found that macaws have distinct gut microbiomes depending on their personalities. Birds with more anxious and aggressive tendencies had higher levels of a bacteria that produces stress hormones. On the flip side, calmer birds had a different set of bacteria in their guts that seemed to produce less of those stress hormones. And those personalities really shine when it comes to how macaws communicate. They are super chatty birds. Macaws produce a wide variety of vocalizations from whistles and screams to rattles and growls. Each macaw has its own unique vocabulary and can imitate other sounds like dog barks or chainsaws. They also have excellent memories and can remember the people, places, and things associated with particular vocalizations, and then use that information to get what they want. For example, a macaw that has figured out that a particular whistle gets it food will use that whistle to let people know that it's hungry. Because of this, domestic macaws can learn to speak and will often repeat phrases that they hear. When done right, this makes for a very cute parrot. When done wrong, it can make for some very funny parrots. Speaking of domestic macaws, if you have ever been offered a macaw feather for a hat or jewelry, chances are that feather came from a blue and gold macaw. That's because they were one of the first macaws selectively bred by humans. In the pet and meat industries, however, they aren't doing so well in the wild. Habitat destruction has caused their population to decline by more than 50% in the last 25 years. But even though humans are a major reason why blue and gold macaws are endangered, they are also the reason that many of these birds live past 50 years old. In the wild, their average lifespan is between 30 and 40 years. But in captivity, they can live up to 80. As for where in the wild they might be found, macaws are native to tropical and subtropical regions of the Americas. Today, they mostly live south of the United States in countries like Brazil, Bolivia, and Peru. And they can usually be found near rivers or other bodies of water because, unlike most parrots, macaws spend most of their time on land rather than in trees. They spend their days looking for food, much of which they get on the ground. That's right, macaws aren't just picky eaters. Sure, they will happily munch on fruits like passion fruits and mangoes, but they also go for seeds, buds, and flowers. And even though they have strong bills that are perfect for cracking open nuts, they don't only eat nuts. They'll happily dig into a clay lick to get their fill of clay. Now this might seem odd, but eating clay is actually common among parrots. Almost half of all parrot species regularly consume clay, and scientists think that they do it to help detoxify their food. Many of the plants that parrots eat contain mild toxins, and although this doesn't hurt the parrots, it does make their guts a less hospitable place for other animals. Clay is full of minerals like aluminum and calcium, which can neutralize acids. So eating some clay along with their meals helps keep the gut environment more alkaline. It's preventing harmful microbes from moving in. Scientists think this is especially important for macaws because they tend to eat more bitter foods, which are often more toxic than sweeter foods. To get their clay fix, macaws head to riverbanks or clay licks, which are areas where the ground has been worn smooth by thousands of birds getting their daily dose of clay. At these clay licks, macaws stand on one leg while they snack, dipping their beaks into the clay with their toes facing forward to prevent slipping. The birds often congregate in groups of up to 100 individuals, all happily scooping up clay. These clay snacks may be good for business. Scientists have noticed that macaws are less likely to steal each other's food when they all have access to clay. They hypothesize that this is because the clay helps neutralize oxalates in the food, which are compounds that can bind to calcium, making it harder for the body to absorb. Getting enough calcium is super important for birds. It helps build strong bones and shells. So it seems like macaws who eat more clay end up with more calcium available to them. Since calcium is a key ingredient in both eggshells and beaks, having more of it means you can make more eggs or grow a bigger beak. Bigger beaks are more attractive to potential mates. So by hanging out at the clay licks, macaws are not only helping their health, they're helping their love lives. And speaking of beaks, these guys are equipped with the strongest beaks of any parrot. It's thanks to the shape of their skull, which gives the beak more surface area to attach to. And they put those big, strong beaks to work, cracking open hard shells and nuts. With a single bite, they can open a Brazil nut, which has one of the hardest shells of any nut. But if macaws are so tough, then why do they need to hang out in groups? Well, some predators do prey on adult macaws, such as harpy eagles and anacondas. To defend themselves, macaws will squawk loudly, try to bite the predator, and toss their food. It's not uncommon to see macaws flying around with a big stick or leaf in their beak that they intend to use as a weapon. Hanging out in groups means there are more birds to keep watch and more beaks and wings to fend off an attack. Macaws are also excellent parents and will often take turns keeping their eggs warm. Even though a clutch of macaw eggs looks like a bunch of little marbles, each egg is unique. Eggs within a clutch vary in size and weight. Once they hatch, the babies are totally dependent on their parents. Like most birds, macaw chicks are altricial, meaning they're born blind and flightless with downy feathers. The parents feed them, keep them warm, and protect them until they are ready to leave the nest. Usually that takes about 10 to 12 weeks. Once they are fledglings, they stay with their parents for up to a year, learning what foods are safe to eat and how to find them. In fact, young macaws that are still living with their parents are bolder and more exploratory than independent macaws. That's why fledglings are more likely to steal food. Basically, they are kind of like teenage parrots, which maybe explains why they can be so sassy. As far as sass goes, though, nothing beats a hyacinth macaw. Hyacinth macaws are the largest flying birds in the world. That's impressive considering they are entirely blue. Blue feathers require more melanin than any other color, which makes them heavier, and heavy birds don't usually fly well. But hyacinth macaws spend a lot of energy maintaining their stunning blue plumage, and that means they need lots of calories to stay healthy. And the only way to get those calories is by eating fruit, so their preference for blue foods may actually help them survive. The wild is full of stories of power and survival and beauty, and those stories are waiting to be discovered. If you want to hear more of them, stay tuned, because there's always more to learn about our planet. Thanks for coming along on this journey to understand the natural world around us. I'm here with Minute Earth. Don't forget to keep on thinking.